What's up, everybody? Derek Anderson, the DA. All right, everybody, check it out, man. Back from Icon, back from Nashville, Tennessee. Yo, had a great time out there hanging out at the Echo Base Network meetup. Man, I had a great time, man, and I'm looking forward to next year. But look, we missed a lot while we were away, and you guys knew I was going to be talking about this one, man. This one was hot and heavy on my mind all weekend long, and I couldn't wait to start talking about it. This one article from Variety dropped the same day that I arrived at Icon. Toxic fandom, how Hollywood is battling fans who are just out for blood, from social media boot camps to superfan focus groups. Now, look, you guys know this one's near and dear to my heart, all right? Because what is it that I always say?
Listen to the fans.
Listen to the fans, and you can't go wrong. All right. And I've been saying that since my channel started. Listen to the damn fans. The fans will lead you to the promised land. All you got to do is pay attention to the fans. OK, but you don't have to battle them. Like, what is this? Oh, we're battling fans. Who's battling you? We just want you to put out good content. What's so hard about that? All right. You ain't got to sit up here and put your little social media boot camps and super fan focus groups. All of this is unnecessary. Just do what the fans want. Find people that understand the fan base. Number one, if you're going to take on all of these giant, franchises, and we'll get to it because that's exactly what this is about. They're taking on giant franchises and they're not paying any attention to the audiences that built those franchises in the first place. That's the problem. Okay, that's the problem. And now they want to put together boot camps and focus groups when all you got to do is do what?
Really listen to the fans.
Listen to the fans. All right, let's go ahead and check this article out. On August 28, Amanda Stenberg, the lead of the Star Wars series The Acolyte, posted an 8.5-minute video to her Instagram stories about Lucasfilm's abrupt decision to not pick up the show for a second season just a month after the season 1 finale streamed on Disney+. It's not a huge shock for me, Stenberg said. Since the series was announced in 2020, she continued, we started experiencing a rampage of, I would say, hyper-conservative bigotry and vitriol, prejudice, hatred, and hateful language towards us. Stenberg was unavailable for comment on this story. All right, so first of all, she's lying, all right? Because in 2020, when they did announce The Acolyte, there was a lot of positive feelings for the show because everybody was like, oh shit, they're going to explore the Sith. We're going to do a deep dive into the Sith lore. That could be very interesting. And remember, 2020 was coming on the heels of Mando Season 2 and all the goodwill that came after that last episode of Mando Season 2. Everybody was sky high. And then we started hearing about more projects that were coming out. Rangers of the New Republic, like, oh man, that's going to be good, all right? Remember Book of Boba Fett? People were hyped up over that. And then The Acolyte. Everybody started hearing, oh, Cat, they're going to actually get back and start exploring the Sith and the dark side. Oh, that could be really, really interesting. Initially, everybody was pumped. But then when they started hearing what was going to be in the show, oh, it has LGBTQ themes in it. Oh, it's about DEI. It's about women. It's all that kind of shit. Everybody was like, whoa, 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 whoa. Where's the damn Star Wars in this? You can't just sit up here and start spitting out LGBTQ, DEI, women, this, that, and the third. Where's Star Wars? Give us Star Wars or fuck off. I've been telling y'all that, but you don't want to listen, okay? You don't want to listen, but now maybe they're going to listen with their little dumbass superfan focus groups. But that's what we've been saying. Like, no, so what they're saying is since the series was announced, no. Initially, when we heard about the series, sounds like it might be good. Let's see what they got. We're on a high. Mando Season 2's ending was phenomenal. But then as we started to hear what was in it, oh, nah. Yeah, and we checked all the way out, and then, yeah, we started dog walking this thing because we knew exactly what it is that we was about to get, all right? We knew exactly what was coming our way. A repeat of The Last Jedi and The Rise of Palpatine. And guess what? The toxic fans were right. That's exactly what we got with The Acolyte. We ain't stupid. We know what's coming. All right, soon as y'all start saying that shit, we already knew that's what we was going to get, man. So, yeah, don't try to gaslight me, please. In other words, The Acolyte was the latest high-profile target of toxic fandom, the catch-all term for when fan criticism curdles from good faith dissatisfaction into a relentlessly negative, often bigoted online campaign against either the project or its stars or creative leaders. In a franchise economy increasingly dependent upon established audience devotion to drive the bottom line, the threat of toxic fandoms poisoning that enthusiasm has become a seemingly intractable headache for almost every studio, and it's only getting worse. But here's the problem. You see, and they even, say the quiet part out loud, and we've been saying this as well, all right, that they are dependent on established audiences. They don't want to create new things. And that's the major problem with Hollywood. They want to co-opt somebody else's property that has proven to be successful and then bastardize it and not care about the damn fandoms. Okay? And then when the fans say, yo, you're doing it wrong, this isn't what this made this franchise great to begin with. This is garbage. This is trash. Oh, you're a toxic fandom. It's the toxic dude bros, man. The toxic dude bro. Yeah, we toxic as fuck because we tired of you fucking up our shit. You didn't make this. You had nothing to do with this. And then when we try to say, hey, initially it always starts out with some, hey, here's some feedback. You know, here's some feedback. This is not going to work. This is not going to work. This is not going to fit what the fans want. This isn't going to fit what the general audience wants. I said this on the other one when we was talking about the Acolyte. Go back and roll the clip. Y'all remember when I was saying this? There's millions and millions and millions of people all over the world that don't know anything about the culture war. They don't give a damn about it. But what they do know is what they like and what they don't like. And the thing that is pissing these people off is that this isn't just being rejected like the Acolyte. It's not just being rejected by the toxic dude bros. It's getting rejected across the board. All right. It's getting rejected by everybody. 18% on Rotten Tomatoes for those that did watch it. And for those that didn't watch it, they checked the first episode and they said, I'm out. I don't give a damn what the hell this is about. I'm not watching it. I don't care. It's proof positive that their bullshit, everything that they're talking about is not going to work. That's why they're mad, because we have been telling them that. We have been telling you this is not going to work. We have been telling them. And they said, oh, you don't care. You just some bigot. You just some this and that. And it's like, all right, cool. Go ahead and see what happens. And then the Acolyte falls off the face of the map after 2 or 3 weeks on the Nielsen ratings. The 18% on Rotten Tomatoes. Star Wars and Lucasfilm sunk a gang of bread into this thing, and it face planted. It face planted. And again, that's all the millions of people that are not rocking with any kind of culture war. They're just regular people going about their daily work, and they checked out. They said, I'm not with it. And the toxic fans was right. That's the whole problem. That's why they're pissed. Because they don't understand that the fans that they call quote unquote toxic actually love the franchise and want the franchise to succeed. That's the problem. That we know that this is going to destroy the franchise. We know everything that you're doing right now is going to run the franchise into the ground. We've been right the entire time. And that's why we've been trying to tell them. And see, look, they're depending on audience devotion, right? They're depending on people that just love the franchise and are blindly devoted to it. So this probably throws them for a loop. Like, oh, damn, I thought all these Star Wars and Marvel and DC and Star Trek fans, I thought these guys were just blindly loyal and they'll always be here. And then we could just stuff this franchise with our damn agendas and our ideology and all of that crap. And we'll use that as a vehicle to spread our ideology far and wide. But it didn't work. And again, we've been telling them that. No, you got to do what made the franchise popular in the first place. You got to make sure that you listen to the fans of the franchise and do what the franchise does. There's a million franchises out there. Only a handful of them have been this successful. So if your economy, your franchise economy is dependent upon the established audience devotion, then you need to listen to the established audience. You need to listen to the fans. Okay? But maybe that's what they're trying to do. Let's go ahead and keep reading. It comes with the territory, but it's gotten incredibly loud in the last couple of years, says a veteran marketing executive at a major studio. People are just out for blood regardless. They think the purity of the first version will never be replaced, or you've done something to upset the canon of a beloved franchise, and they're going to take you down for doing so. Well, again, it's not just us, okay? Your audience is going to fall off, because you're not paying any fidelity or authenticity to what made the franchise great to begin with. You don't know the fans, you don't know the people that love it, and you don't know the franchise. You don't know anything. You're just making content at this point. And if all you're going to do is just make content, you're going to lose, okay? Which is, again, what the fans have been saying. Sometimes toxic fandoms behave reactively. A House of the Dragon episode featuring 2 female characters kissing, and an episode of The Last of Us focusing on a gay couple were both review bombed. The practice of mobbing sites like Rotten Tomatoes and IMDb with negative user reviews, which gained mainstream attention following the premiere of 2017's Star Wars The Last Jedi. And an entire YouTube ecosystem is devoted to declaring woke projects like the Marvels and The Boys woke garbage. Yeah, I mean, that's true. It is woke garbage. And yeah, there's also an entire YouTube ecosystem devoted to being shills. all right? And they're slurping up everything that Marvel does and Star Wars does and all that. There's another ecosystem that exists right alongside of that. And their problem is they're listening to that side, all right? That's the problem y'all been running into, studios. You're listening to the wrong fans. Maybe you are listening to the fans, but you're listening to the wrong fans. You're listening to the shills, the guys that you pay off with goodie bags and trips to Disneyland and red carpet events. You're listening to those people. Listen to the people that ain't got no skin in the game when it comes to praising you, all right? Our only love is the franchise and only the franchise. We get nothing out of loving you or hating you. Listen to those guys, and we will tell you the truth. Oh, yeah, nah, that's, like they said, that right there is woke garbage. Don't do it, okay? Try to find your way to that side of YouTube and listen to those guys, all right? And we'll tell you what's really going on. Just as frequently, the backlash begins before the project has seen the light of day. A Reddit mega thread dedicated to outrage over Bridgerton casting a black woman as a love interest for Francesca Hannah-Dodd. Social media epithets directed at actors of color cast as elves and dwarves in Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power. Death threats aimed at Leslie Jones during 2016's Ghostbusters. Look, never death threats. Death threats are always bad. It's never a good thing. I never agree with any of that. But I don't know what this was about. I didn't know there was anything going on with Bridgerton. I don't know if this is something dealing with the storyline. Maybe this is, you know, a race swap. All right. That's definitely what was going on down here with Rings of Power, you know, with these actors of colors cast as elves and dwarves. Yeah. Don't race swap. You know, people have a right to call out race swapping because it's pandering. It's absolutely pandering to an audience that really doesn't give a damn. That's something to soothe the conscience of all of these broken studios that have done all kind of dirty shit in the past. And now, oh man, I guess we got to make up for all the ways we treated black people and people of color in the past or whatever. So yeah, let's go ahead and do some race swaps. Let's throw them a bone. There's nothing authentic about that. So yeah, people got a right to call that out. Black people sure as hell ain't asking for black race swap dwarves. Nobody's asking for that. I don't know one black person that asked for a black race swap. We're not asking for that shit. Nobody is. Only the idiots in Hollywood are asking for that crap. Yeah, so they deserve to get called out for it, and I'm going to continue to call them out for it. Perhaps the greatest irony of this phenomenon is the disproportionate impact these toxic fandoms have to their relative actual number. Well, then why y'all talking about it if there's no impact? Why y'all got a whole article about it, Variety? Too funny, man. The vast majority of any fandom or casual fans, says John Van Sitters, VP of Star Trek brand development, who has been with the story franchise since the 90s. The number of people who live and die on their franchises are very, very few. And then those who come after things they espouse to love with venom are a really, really tiny subset of that already smaller subset of fandom. It's just much easier to see it now. I don't know that it is really that much broader than where things were in 1995. It's just that the bullhorn wasn't there. Well, I mean, he's not wrong about that. Like, yeah, the number of people who are the hardcore fans of a franchise are very few. All right. And then the people that will absolutely rip a franchise apart are fewer than that. But here's the thing. These are the people that will tell you the truth. They're not afraid to dog walk their own love, their own franchise. All right. That's that tough love. All right. Like when the father is telling his son, hey, son, you know what? You're messing up, bro. All right. You need to fix that. That's what you need. You need tough love right now. And that's what the writers need. That's what the directors need. That's what all the creatives need. They need tough love because guess what? Once again, your general audience, the people that are not in any of this, all right? They're not a part of any of these things. Any of these big franchises. They just show up when something looks good and interesting. They'll show up for that. But those people have checked out. They no longer see the value of Star Wars. They no longer see the value of Marvel, DC, Star Trek, you name it. They have walked away from even caring about any of these franchises, even as a general interest. I'll just catch it when it's on streaming or maybe not. What am I missing? Nothing. They're looking for new things, and you guys aren't doing anything to build on the existing franchises that you own. And the fans, the toxic fans, as you call them, are trying to tell y'all this is what you need to do. Still, toxic fandoms have grown so pernicious that they become a fact of life for many and so powerful that while talent executives and publicists will privately bemoan the issue, fear of inadvertently triggering another backlash kept several studios from speaking for this story, even on background. As one rep put it, it's just a lose-lose. I mean, it kind of is, right? Because look, now I'm talking about it, okay? It's like y'all wrote the story. They just like, look, man, we don't even want to talk about them cats because this just going to end up as a YouTube video. Several YouTube videos by several people. Yep, it sure will. Those who did talk with Variety all agreed that the best defense is to avoid provoking fandoms in the first place. In addition to standard focus group testing, studios will assemble a specialized cluster of superfans to assess possible marketing materials for a major franchise project. I mean, again, you can get to the superfans and you can have a special focus group of superfans that will look at the marketing. But it always starts at the genesis of the project, which is, why are you making the Acolyte in the first place? What is your reason for making that? Can you tell me? Because that's where that project lives or dies. It's, why did you make it? Did you make it because you have some authentic love for Star Wars, or did you make it because you had an agenda to push? That's the question. That's the question that they need to answer, and they're not answering these questions. They're dodging around them, stepping around it, and they're calling you a bigot if you even ask a question, or even if you look at it like, yo, man, this looks like woke garbage. They're calling you a bigot for that. That's the problem. The superfans ain't gonna fix the reason you made the project in the first place, because all they're looking at is marketing materials. You can market the Acolyte all kind of different ways. As soon as you show up and watch it, it's garbage. It's trash. The show has to be fixed. The creative's got to be repaired. It has nothing to do with the marketing. It's not the problem with marketing. Again, it's only going to last as long as that first episode or the first few minutes of the movie. Look, a lot of people were excited for Joker. Look how Joker turned out. Once the word of mouth got out, the movie's trash. It has nothing to do with the way you marketed it. I mean, again, it shows that the studios are so out of touch, they think they can snake their way around. They can market their way out of a bad movie. They can market their way out of a bad television show if they just put out the right kind of marketing material. This is the problem with with Hollywood right now. They don't get it. They're very vocal, says the studio executive. They will just tell us if you do that, fans are going to retaliate. These groups have even led studios to alter the project. Oh, so they've already been at work. Okay. If it's early enough and the movie isn't finished yet, we can make those kinds of changes. Several studio insiders say they often put their talent through a social media boot camp. In some cases, when a character is intentionally challenging a franchise's status quo, studios will, with the actor's permission, take over their social media accounts entirely. Well, apparently, Rachel Zegler and Amanda Stenberg, they have been skipping boot camp. All right. Them chicks have not attended boot camp at all. Y'all need to get them asses in boot camp. Hey, go. Let's go, ladies. All right. Boot camp 101. Let's go. Get in there. Because they're not doing the work at all. All right. They are not doing the work. And they absolutely need their social media accounts taken over. I wouldn't let Rachel Zegler post anything ever again. You're done. You're done. As long as you're working for us, you do not have any access to your to your social media, to your Twitter, Instagram, whatever. Oh, I refuse to. Well, goodbye. Bye. We ain't dealing with you. That's a condition of employment. We need your social media login, and you can't touch it until like another year, until we're done filming this and the marketing and everything. Until we're done with that, you can't touch this thing. Full non-disclosures, and you can't talk about it. As a matter of fact, you can't talk about shit because it doesn't matter what she talk about. She is poison. Take that chick over, man. Real talk. When things get really bad, especially involving threats of violence, security firms will scrub talent information from the internet to prevent them from doxing. Yeah, I mean, doxing and threats and all of that stuff is never cool. Yeah, I mean, it's just more of the same, man. Talking about the stuff with Moses Ingram and everything and, you know, all that kind of crap. Look, man, at the end of the day, all of that stuff and, you know, again, threats and all of that stuff, we disagree with that. I don't think anybody agrees that people should be threatened. But when we're talking about, hey, get the franchise right, stop the race swaps, stop the garbage storytelling and the ideology and all of that crap, all right? Get the franchise right. When we're talking about that, that's the vast majority of the criticisms. It has nothing to do with, it's relentless racism, threats, and harassment. Only thing that we do is talk shit about those people that talk shit to us. If you come at the fans and you say, if you don't like it, don't watch it, we got a right to say, okay, I'm not watching it. And then when nobody watches it, then you start crying. Or when you do like Amanda Stenberg and you put out a diss track, all right? You put out a full diss track. Notice nowhere in this article did they ever mention that there was a diss track shot at the fans. I didn't see that anywhere, okay? I saw that nowhere at all when they're sitting up here talking about toxic fandoms. Yeah, that was social media, wasn't it? All right, that was on Instagram. I think she put that on. That was social media. Yeah, she got to go back to boot camp, man. All right? She got to go to boot camp. Don't talk to the fans. Talk to your star. Hey, man, look, you fell asleep in boot camp or something, chick. You got to take your ass back because you out here dissing fans of a huge franchise and you tanked the Acolyte. And that was part of it. They said, yo, her back and forth with the fans tanked the show. Nobody wanted to watch it after that. So, yeah, look, we're not just out here out for blood, all right? We're out for the franchise. We want the franchise to be great, especially Star Wars. I want Star Wars to be great again. But it's not going to be great until you get the woke nonsense out of there, until you start going back to George Lucas's original vision for the franchise. That's how you're going to rebuild Star Wars and save this thing. All right? Star Wars has an original vision, and it's not just lightsabers and space battles and Wookiees and aliens and all that kind of stuff. That's what these idiots think it is. But there's more to Star Wars than that, and that's what they need to start doing. Listen to the fans, the super fans that will be critical of you. And then, hey, you might actually find some damn success. But anyway, folks, this is kind of a long one, but I wanted to chop into this. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this situation with these super fan focus groups. You know, I wonder if they're going to get the right super fans to be in these focus groups. I have a huge doubt with that. It's going to be nothing but super shill focus groups like it's probably been this entire time. It's absolutely hilarious. But y'all let me know what y'all think. Jump down in the comments. Give me your thoughts and opinions on that. And thanks for watching. See you next time.